Assalamu alaikum everybody. So today is, well, welcome to this week's live. So I posted a video about halal beauty goals, and a few of you emailed me and DM'd me, not emailed, DM'd me about the hijab tutorial. And it's actually a funny story because I didn't wear, like I was not going to wear that style because of a few things that I want to tell you about. Because when I got the messages saying like, oh my gosh, show me how you do that style, I actually wanted to say walaikum salam. I wanted to say a few things because it is a style that I love. I used to wear it a lot, but then I stopped wearing it. The reason being that it requires a few pins. It requires a few pins, and it requires the right hijab fabric. Now, one of the things, like my grievance with hijab tutorials is, just because this shirt is too tight, hijab tutorials sometimes, you know, you watch the tutorial and then they put the walaikum salam, so they put the hijab and then they tie it and then they say, okay, do that and that's it, just wrap it up. But actually, like, I think that hijab tutorial should come with a disclaimer saying like, listen, for this hijab style you need this specific fabric because it doesn't work with something else. So this is the style, this is the fabric that I wore on my video, right? Is it me or is the camera kind of blurry? Let me see. Okay, so this is the fabric that I wore on the video. This fabric is like, it's like heavy, right? It's like, it's not very airy. So I have other hijabs and then I have them here. Oh, just drop it. I have another hijab that they are super light, like so light, like there is no weight to them. Like, you know, when you, this is a silk one and it just flies off your head, right? So then for the style that I have on that video, you need the hijab that has a little bit more weight to it, so that when you do the drapes, then the drapes can fit nicely and can actually stay where they're supposed to stay. If you try to do that style with, let's say, like this type of fabric that is so light and fluffy, you're just going to look like a big cloud is around your head. Like the drapes are not going to work, right? So the first thing, for those of you that wanted to like ask me about that style, is you need a hijab that kind of like falls really nicely. Like if you see the way this one falls and this one, you know, like this one is very skinny and this one is like all fluffy, and this one is a silk one, and it's great when you want to do the style that you just wrap, and then you see from that it's really easy to just like make it really skinny. Sorry, make it really skinny. Look, you can like, right? So this style is great for that, but for the one that I'm using in the video, you cannot have that, and you cannot have like crinkle, this kind of style, because they're just too fluffy. So that's the first thing. You need the hijab. And what fabric is this? I think this is like a rayon, viscose. Okay, viscose and silk, viscose and silk, and I got it from like around like one of the Islamic stores. So I don't know, I don't know where to tell you to get it. So then the next thing about this style is that it requires like a few pins or a few magnets, hijab magnets. Now I wore this style a lot when the magnets were not around, and most recently, I'm trying to find the magnets in my pocket. Most recently, I actually kind of like took from my daughter this really like, these are magnets that she has, and I use them for my hijabs. So I haven't tried them with the magnets, so I'm going to try them with the pins. So the first thing with the style, I forgot if I did it this way, but what you want to do is you need the coverage of the neck, right? So the first pin that you're going to put is not here, because then if you put it here, then when you wrap it, when you do the drape, then you have this kind of ugly, not ugly, but I dislike it, right? So then I pin it. Oh no, wait, that's not the first pin. Let me just get my pins. So I'm going to tell you from now, you need like 3 or 4. So the first pin is here on the side. I'm gonna try to get it on my underscarf. Okay, and on the underscarf. So the first pin is there, right? And then the other one, of course, there. Now I pin it on the inside out. You can, you know, like you don't see the head of the pin, but doesn't matter. And then you need like this little, like enough of a piece here that you can cover your neck. So, wait, let me see if I can do this. Okay, so then I used to be able to like take this hijab and pin it with the same pin here, but I forgot how to do that, so I cannot do that anymore. So then you need another pin that goes here somehow. Again, tutorials don't also tell you that it's not as easy as just like put it here and pin it and put it there and pin it, but you actually have to like find the right way to pin it. So I might start making like real hijab tutorials. So then, right, then your neck is covered. Some people do this, some sisters do this. I don't do that, but you can try. And then now you see, if you have yes, this question show how the pin looks like. So the pin looks like this. It's not the really thin one that doesn't have the head. I don't know how like hijabis use pins that don't have the head. I will be like losing pins left and right, so I need the one that has the head. And it's not the giant one either, but these are like sewing pins. So you see, if you have the right fabric, this is the most important thing of the hijab tutorial. I think hijab tutorials should like state right away like what hijab fabric you need for the style to work. Because you see, when you have the right style, if you put your hijab and you pin it here and you pin it there and then you do this, I know, right? And then you do this and you are not seeing this drape right away, then it's not the right fabric, right? So then you need to like find a different fabric. And I think like maybe I should start commenting like on all the hijab tutorials, what is the fabric, what is it? Because I used to be so frustrated seeing the tutorials and then like following the steps and realizing like, oh my god, it looks horrible, right? So then it is because of the fabric. Now you can either leave it like so or drop it in the back. The issue with this style, which is the other thing, now what I like to do, and this is why I don't like wear this style as much as I want to, is because if I don't put a pin here on my shoulder, I'm gonna try, just poke myself. If I don't put the pin on my shoulder, then the fabric falls down, and I personally don't like the look of like the style like all over like here, right? Because then I don't know, there's like too many drapes going on, so I like to keep it there. And this fabric, for the beautiful drapes to come here, the fabric ends up like falling everywhere, and then that's it. So yes, I did get like DMs saying like, oh my god, I love that style, I love it too. But then one of the questions that I had, let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, I cannot see it. Okay, if somebody tells me how I can put the questions like that were asked yesterday, because now I cannot see them. One of the questions was like, how do you when you're hijab and you have like small kids and the pulling and the tugging, I don't really know. Like I wore this style, I started wearing it like only when we were going somewhere and my kids were not so small, because if you have kids, unless you start wearing, like I might figure out how to do this style with the magnet beads so that I can wear it again. Because if you are wearing pins and then you have a baby and then they're pulling, then they're either going to pull the scarf and like rip it, or they're going to like poke themselves. So I stopped wearing this one because of that same reason, because it's not as practical, even though it's not practical for when you have kids, but it's very practical. Let's say you see, like now I was wearing this shirt, which is a turtleneck, that is so nice and warm, but it's very tight. So if you have this style, then you can if you have this style, then you can just cover everything, you know, and like it's more convenient that way. The fabric is it says viscose and silk, but I believe that as long as you have something that is very drapey, like the moment you pick it up, okay, how do I take this question out? I don't know. Okay, so the moment you pick it up, you should be able to see like the drape, you know. If you see that, then you know that this style will work. If you have something, like I said, like a crinkly thing, like this kind, or like a silk, 100% silk, which is like this one is 100% silk. If I show you like the same style, oh wait, okay, I also don't know how to take these questions out. Okay, so if you have something like this, then it also like it doesn't work. Now let me just see. I had a question that says some tips for dark circles. Dark circles, listen, if you have dark circles, the first thing is understand how dark circles work. Now if you have this, you see I have this kind of like thing here, that's not dark circles, that's just like kind of part of your face, so you have to deal with that. But if you have dark circles, like this part here is very dark, the one thing you have to understand is that the skin here is the lightest skin in your whole body, right? So then when the reason why you see the pigmentation is because the skin is kind of like very thin, it's not plump enough. Now this is one of the like the main reasons. There's other reasons for dark circles, but if you think about this, then you remember to drink water, because the moment you don't drink water, all of the moisture and then the skin like loses its like plumpness, right? So then it's not able to look as healthy as it should. So then you start to see through the skin and then see the darkness. So water, very important for dark circles. And then something that I think is not even more important, but equally as important, is to every time you apply anything, to give yourself like a nice face massage and like massage this area under your eyes, because sometimes dark circles are also combined with puffiness. So you want to be able, like when you massage your face and you get the blood flowing and everything kind of like, you know, it releases, then the dark circles are much less noticeable. So water is very, like, these are things that are very basic and then they can help you so much. Like, of course there are creams and there are things, and if you are wondering about a product, the calendula facial oil is like the best because it has the almond oil, and the rose water also is amazing, right? But it doesn't matter what you use, like water and hydration and massage is going to help you, like, and it's super basic and it's super simple to do. Now, another thing, another question I had was, what was the support system? My support system has been my husband and my kids and my mom. For now, that is my team, and that is who is behind me, and a lot of dua and a lot of like mindset shifts from my part to change a lot of things, that like insecurities about my business and about myself. That plus my husband and my kids and my mom, like my close family, but mainly, like, you know, this is the team that I have. Inshallah, this year I might get like a business coach or a life coach. I'm not sure if I need it, but I see that it might be beneficial. But for now, that is a support system. At update, I show you guys the lipstick so that I can get off the video and it's not so long. But I've been showing you the journey of the lipstick. So this is, I actually went with the dark case. And this is what I was doing all day yesterday, working on the embossing. So next is actually just filling the lipsticks. But this is how the case is gonna look like. And I'm super excited. And what was the other thing this week? I forgot right now. But yeah, the lipsticks are in the work and the concealers are coming back, and also the cream blushes. And thank you, Zoe. Yes, like, even my daughter was like, oh my god, it looks so amazing. I'm like, I know, right? So that is coming in the next few weeks. And if you guys don't have any more questions, then I'm going to finish this live and see you on the next live. Assalamu alaikum.